The man accused of trying to run over a police officer in Southaven is set to be in court this Wednesday. 20-year-old Marcus Coleman is facing a slew of charges, from aggravated assault on a police officer to receiving stolen property to fleeing an officer in a motor vehicle. We brought you the shocking video Friday. Authorities said they got a call about a stolen car. When officers tried to stop the driver, he allegedly rammed officers' vehicles and tried to run over an officer. That's when shots were fired, and after a short pursuit, the driver, Coleman, was taken into custody.
All right. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. And that video that you just saw was of Marcus Coleman, 20-year-old Marcus Coleman in Southaven, Mississippi. Now, when it was sent to me, it was alleged that Mr. Coleman tried to run over a deputy in solidarity with Rodney Hinton Jr. Now, if you don't know, Rodney Hinton Jr. is the father in Cincinnati who ran over a sheriff's deputy, allegedly, after watching footage of Cincinnati police kill his son. Now, and this video, while the person said that, this man did it in conjunction or in solidarity with Mr. Hinton, I must admit, I do not see either of that. I don't see him attempting to ram a car or him attempting to run over an officer. But what I do hear and see is the barrage of gunfire that was fired at his car. So let's take a look at this video again to make sure that we are not missing anything.
Accused of trying to run over a police officer in Southaven is set to be in court this Wednesday. 20-year-old Marcus Coleman is facing a slew of charges, from aggravated assault on a police officer to receiving stolen property to fleeing an officer in a motor vehicle. We brought you the shocking video Friday. Authorities said they got a call about a stolen car. When officers tried to stop the driver, he allegedly rammed officers' vehicles and tried to run over an officer.
Now let's get this again, just in case we missed something, because y'all tell me what y'all see, because I do not see him either ramming a car or trying to run over an officer.
Brought you the shocking video Friday. Authorities said they got a call about a stolen car. When officers tried to stop the driver, he allegedly rammed officers' vehicles and tried to run over an officer. That's when shots were fired, and after a short pursuit, the driver, Coleman.
Now, we have watched that video 3 times, and not one time did I see the young man ram a car or try to run over an officer. But once again, we did hear and see the shots that were fired. And I think that is the narrative that they are trying to portray. Once again, the young brother who sent it to me said that he, tried to run over an officer. I think he said that he did run over an officer, but clearly we can see that the young man just sped away from the parking lot, sped away out of the parking lot, trying to get away. And then that is when his car was littered with bullets. Now, fortunately for him, the young brother was not hit. He survived the attack, the cold-blooded assassination on his life, because if you see from that video, there were no officers in danger. There was no threat caused by him. He was trying to get away. Now, once again, let me iterate here that I do not advocate fleeing from police. I do not advocate, having stolen goods. I don't advocate, what do they call it, fleeing to elude or whatever the case may be. But as I always emphasize, that the penalty for those actions are jail time, not to be assaulted with gunfire. And as you see, the young man, here he is. He is in custody right now. And if you look on his forehead, it looks like, he has been the subject of some fisticuffs. He might have been roughed up a little bit. There you see scars on his forehead and his lips. But also you see this picture as well of him, smiling and, looking, I guess too happy for what he has just endured. Now, according to the individual that sent me the information, that he also suffering from mental illness. And so I think that needs to be taken into consideration. Now, once again, he is from Memphis. He's from Memphis, but this situation happened in Southaven, Mississippi. Now, I don't know why the police were called. The police said that they identified a stolen car at a Sonic. And it was at that point that you see him trying to flee from the police. But as we see from the news video and the news narrative, they're saying that he rammed police cars and he also tried to run over a police officer. Nowhere in that video did we see those things taking place. And that goes, along with how they tried to frame their actions. The premise of him ramming a car and him trying to run over a deputy, that automatically justifies them shooting at him. What, he tried to run over a deputy? What, he rammed, he used his vehicle as a deadly weapon? Then we had to assault him with gunfire. None of that was the case. He was simply trying to get away. You see him slide through the cars and then make the right-hand turn, and all of a sudden they start shooting at him. Now, a lot of times, as we've seen in the past in some of these situations, officers will put themselves in the way of the car to, create the narrative, oh, I was in danger and I fear for my life, so I had to sidestep and then start shooting. If you watch that video closely, at no point in time was an officer ever in danger of being struck by his vehicle. So, luckily, fortunately for our young brother, he did survive. Hopefully, if he is suffering from mental health, he will get the help he needs. But this is another example of, once again, police creating a false narrative to justify their attempted murder of a human being committing a crime. Once again, crime is punishable by jail, not by death, not by police execution in the streets. And this is what we have seen time and time again. Fortunately, in this case, the brother was not hit. He survived, and he was taken into custody to have his day in court. But the same cannot be said for Ryan Hinton, Deshaun Best, and the many other stories that we have covered over this time period throughout this channel. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. Thank y'all for watching. Peace and blessings. Y'all have a good night. Much love.